Well, just got back from the track and actually just carried an entire dresser from 2 blocks away because the wife had to have it because she saw it because somebody threw it out. But that's beyond the point. Let's jump into some of the racing news throughout this week and what we have looking forward to for next week as far as racing. This week was kind of a shit show in the Formula One scene with the retaining the qualifying format from the round one in Australia. So Bahrain is still going to have this mostly absolutely stupid qualifying format, and there's some drama behind that, which we'll get into. Also, the Formula One drivers sent like an actual letter of importance, I guess you can say, to Formula One management and stuff, and they replied to them, and it was kind of like a go screw yourself kind of slightly reply. But we'll jump into that as well as no actual racing this week, but next weekend we'll be hitting the full schedule again with IndyCar at Phoenix, which is going to be on the oval side of things. I'm not the biggest fan of ovals, but Phoenix was originally built as an IndyCar track, so it should be interesting to say the least. Formula One will be at Bahrain, and Motogp, where's Motogp headed to? They're going to Argentina. MotoGP's at Argentina, and I will actually be up in Monterey, California, doing a karting regional race. So it should be fun. If anybody's in the Monterey area, should come by on Saturday. Should be some great, awesome racing to watch. But nevertheless, let's seriously show you guys what has been happening. This here is the letter of concern, I guess you can say, that a lot of the drivers sent to Formula One management. To quote what the drivers said, it was, Formula One is currently challenged by the difficult economic environment, a swift change in fan and consumer behavior, and a decisive shift in TV and media landscape. This makes it fundamental that the sports leaders make smart and well-considered adjustments. We feel that some recent rule changes on both the sporting and technical side and including some business directions are disruptive, do not address the bigger issues our sport is facing, and in some cases could jeopardize its future success. We know among the leaders of the sport, be it the owners, the representatives, the governing body, the teams, and other stakeholders, every individual acts with the very best intentions. There's more to it. You guys can read it here. And then Bernie replies more or less he replies with this. Dear gentlemen, I am not sure if this is the right description. It is not always easy to agree with you, but you are correct in stating that the decision-making process in the sport is obsolete and ill-structured. We must, as you have stated, urge the owners and stakeholders of Formula One to consider restructuring its own governance. It is easy to analyze what is wrong, so why not think and come back on this? At least it is better to think before you wish. So to me, this basically is Bernie saying, yes, I agree with you. Yes, I agree with you, but I'm not going to do anything about it. So, it's frustrating, but obviously it's not all on Bernie's hands. But it's like they see the problem too, but they're not going to do anything about it. It's, I don't know, it's above my pay grade, I guess you can say. But it further, to go on this, like after this statement came out, the management system even went further in restricting TV coverage as a kind of I don't even know. They restricted a lot of the European TV coverage, as well as they're keeping the Bahrain absolute terrible qualifying format for the Australian format for the Bahrain Grand Prix, which nobody thought. Everybody unanimously decided not to have it. And what the Formula One management came up with was, okay, here's an alternative. We'll run F1 and F2 like that, and then F3 or Q3, we'll run it classic, right? And then that was their compromise. Like, they're still going to have the shitty system for Q1, Q2, and then the Q3, it'll be the old classic system. Luckily, McLaren and Red Bull actually stood up and said, "No, this is not right." That decision needed a full-on conviction or a unanimous vote in order for it to pass. But because McLaren and Red Bull held out, it did not pass. So we're running the same exact qualifying format for Bahrain. And they held out because they didn't want it to be like, no, they don't want that qualifying format at all, and that's just them kind of standing up for what they believe in, and it's good for them. Hopefully, really hopefully they just can that qualifying format, or they at least adjust it and make it somewhat reasonable. The people don't want to use their tires for the race, so they're going to run them as minimal as possible, and they don't want to run their engine any more than they have to, so they're going to run that as minimal as possible. If there's a way to alleviate that and kind of give, there's ways to make the elimination qualifying work in a very entertaining environment. Just the format and context they have it in now, it just will not work. That's just how it is. But other than that, if Formula One's looking exciting, definitely, hopefully Ferrari can keep up with the really good starts, because they had a really good start in Australia, and it looks like it wasn't just a luck thing, it was more of a mechanical thing, and how their car and their steering wheels are set up. So hopefully they can continue that, and even if they get beat in qualifying, can really change it up in the start of the race. But that's the drama on the Formula One side. Still looking forward to the race, just not the qualifying. But it is what it is. On the other side of things, we have IndyCar. It is heading to Phoenix, which is oval. A lot of left turns. First oval of the weekend, so definitely of the season. So I'm going to be looking forward to it. The Phoenix was originally built as an IndyCar track. Many people didn't know that. I actually didn't know that. I found it out just doing some research, so I figured I'd give it to you guys. But looking forward to IndyCar getting back up and running again with just keeping track of all the new rookies. I think Spencer is out of a drive, but we still have Rossi, Max, and Connor still hooking and jabbing. So that'll be good as well. And Motogp, hopefully in Argentina, they can have a great race. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you are most looking forward to next weekend, whether it's Motogp, Formula One, or IndyCar. Or I think there's a NASCAR. I think that's another series. I don't know if they're racing next week, but maybe we'll cover that. If not, I'll put a little poll up here. We'll see which is the most desired one. Also, tomorrow we got a cool karting video coming out. I got some really cool new angles with my GoPros on my car, so definitely keep an eye out for that. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any later episodes, and stay true and race on. Messed that one up a bit, but who cares? Take care, guys. I'm out of here.